So I just bought the first generation iPad Pro for $200, but the question that no one really asked was, was it worth it? Yes. Yes, it is. So back in the early year of 2016, Apple released the 9.7-inch iPad Pro to replace the original iPad Air lineup alongside with the original 12.9-inch iPad Pro, which was also one of the first iPads that ever supported the original Apple Pencil, so there's your fun fact for you. But at the price of $600 for the 32GB model and $750 for the 128GB model, it was definitely not cheap. But just literally 4 years later, I was able to get the 32GB model for just literally under $200. But never mind that, you're probably here to see how well this nearly 4-year-old iPad holds up in 2020. Well, to realistically know its surprise, pretty darn well. For the specs of the 9.7-inch iPad Pro, we have the Apple A9X processor, PowerVR Series 7 graphics, 2GB of RAM, 32GB of flash storage, and of course the option of either Wi-Fi or Wi-Fi and cellular data. Which for 2016, it was actually pretty cutting edge technology for the iPad, and even for today, it still holds up pretty darn good in 2020 despite being nearly 4 years old. Now, my original idea was to compare this to my original 6th gen iPad, but then I realized I actually sold my 6th gen iPad to buy this iPad, so, yeah, sure, why not? So the overall design and build quality of the iPad Pro was, well, essentially the exact same as really any other iPad made within the last decade, having that very well built aluminum glass chassis that weighs in about 437 grams that still holds up very well in 2020. I mean, this is still an iPad that can easily pass as an iPad that was made literally just today. I mean, this is still a very sleek and modern premium feeling tablet that realistically only really Apple is capable of building at this point in time right now. So you're definitely getting that Apple premium feeling quality right here. And then for the iPad Pro's I/O, well, you got your standard power on and off button, your volume up and down rocker, a physical home button with Touch ID, thank God, a lightning charging port that's still very outdated, and a headphone jack. Now for the speakers, well, this is one of the main reasons why I decided to go with the 2016 iPad Pro. Unlike the 6th and 7th gen iPads, which only have the 2 diaphragmatic speakers, the 2016 iPad Pro has 4 individual speakers with 1 in each corner. And because of that, the sound quality of the 2016 iPad Pro is, well, just in general, a lot better. And it also gives off a much better immersive sound experience to which most people you really want to think about it or really even would think it make a difference, but trust me, it really does. Now for the screen of the 2016 iPad Pro, well, this honestly puts my old 6th gen iPad to shame. Well, sure, the actual screen resolution of the 2016 iPad Pro is actually the exact same as the 6th gen iPad, being a 9.7-inch screen with a resolution of 2048 by 1536 at a PPI of 264, but it's the other little small things that make this display so much better. First of all, the laminated display on this thing just makes writing with the Apple Pencil just that much better. At first I really couldn't tell the difference between writing on the iPad Pro and the 6th gen iPad, but just after a few hours of writing on the iPad Pro, then going back to the 6th gen iPad, well, yeah, the iPad Pro is a lot better. And then for True Tone, well, I never really knew how big of a difference True Tone can actually make, but it actually does make a legit difference. So just overall, the display on the iPad Pro is actually just goddamn amazing. And then for the camera on the 2016 iPad Pro, well, it's actually pretty darn good, like, surprisingly good. The main camera uses a 12 megapixel standard lens that can shoot up to 4K 30fps, and then the front-facing camera uses a 5 megapixel lens that can still shoot up to 1080p 30fps, and while you're not going to be taking any, professional videos or photos of this, you still can definitely take some decent, if not pretty darn good photos and videos of this, but I mean, this iPad has flash, which alone makes taking videos so much worse for other people, and that alone just makes the camera on this thing just so much better. So, what's it actually like to use this thing in 2020? Well, it's pretty much the exact same as really any other iPad, to be honest. I mean, web browsing on this thing feels the exact same as really any other iPad. Playing games like Minecraft and Magikarp is pretty much the exact same as really any other iPad. Watching videos on YouTube and Netflix feel about the exact same as really any other iPad until your favorite video game company completely cucks you with so much hype about a freaking League of Legends ripoff. God fucking damn it, Game Freak! God damn it! Overall, the normal average usability of the 2016 iPad Pro is, well, pretty much the exact same as really any other iPad. but the overall experience on the 2016 iPad Pro is a lot better. First of all, the speakers. Those two extra speakers actually do make a legitimate difference when watching videos or even listening to music. It really does make you more immersed into the sound and also gives off a much better sound quality of the actual, well, sound. Better quality of the actual sound? What the fuck? So overall, the 2016 9.7-inch iPad Pro seems like a great tablet and that can pretty much do almost anything in the year 2020, so should you buy one? Well, yes. I mean, if I was forced to choose this or the 7th Gen 10.2 iPad, I mean, I would still probably choose the 2016 iPad Pro. I mean, it has the better speakers, the better display, the better camera, the better Apple Pencil writing experience, I suppose. And I mean, it's still supported by Apple with iPadOS 13.5.1, with iPadOS 14 also being supported on this in the future. Just overall, if you're looking for a budget iPad for under $300, the 2016 9.7-inch iPad Pro is definitely a great option in the year 2020. Oh, I can't do this. Oh, I don't want to do this anymore.